Hi, I'm Olivia, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some film photos that I took on my trip in Cambodia. This is 100% inspired by Willem Verbeek. I am by no means a photographer, but he is just a great guy. I love watching his videos, so do what you will with that. This is my camera that I took the majority of these photos on. It is a point and shoot. It's the Canon SureShot 85 zoom, and it has a special place in my heart because it used to be our family camera and my mum gave it to me, so love taking that with me places. And the typical film that I use is Kodak Color Plus 200 because it's the cheapest. So traveling with film is really interesting because it's unstable and you should never pack it in your main luggage. You always have to have it in your carry-on bag so it doesn't go through any kind of x-ray machine, which can be really hard to explain when you're saying that in other languages. And obviously security just want to make sure that everything's being checked, and you're like, please don't put my film through the scanner, because it's happened to me before when I went to India. I'll never ever get to see the pictures that I took on film. And that was my lesson learned, to be stern, to be assertive, and to make sure that your film, you know, gets developed properly. And ideally what you would do is get it developed when you're in that country, because it's in its most unstable form when it's like this. So you've taken pictures on it and it isn't developed yet. Get your film developed, you can scan it when you get home and everything will be okay. And I really need to mention, from the trip in Cambodia, we film lab. We were the only film lab in Phnom Penh, and the people who run it were just the absolute nicest people ever. And I swear they turned around my film in like one day and it was for like $6 or $7, which is absolutely unheard of in the UK. So my greatest love to them. And they had this film fridge in their shop, and it was full of lots of films that I'd never seen before. And I got to try this Asian film stock by Mitsubishi, and it expired in 2006, and it was the typical kind of film that Asian families would use to take photos. Like, that was a standard film stock, so it was so cute and exciting that I got to try that when I was on holiday. So, I also took so many cameras with me on this trip. I loved doing that. I had so much room in my luggage, so I thought, why not? I took a VHS with me, which I made a video about, and I had my point and shoot, and I had 2 instant film cameras, and I took so many pictures while I was there. So it's been really hard to narrow them down, but let's start with Phnom Penh. This first picture I took is on a street, and I just love it. This is one of my favorite pictures in Phnom Penh, and there's a movement of that guy in the bottom right hand corner. I feel like it just takes me back to being on that street, and I love like the colors. It feels really dreamy and like in another world. So that's that. And I'm sorry that I can't get technical and talk about all of these things and be like, look at the placement of this and that. I mean, I could try to be like that, but that isn't how I would view or dissect a photo. So I just wanted to talk about them, what I think looks good and why. So yeah. This one is taken in the centre of Phnom Penh, and you can see a little tuk-tuk at the bottom. Like, it's just giving city at night vibes, and I really enjoy that. This is me at a bar, and I'll put the name in. This is this is the bar of a friend, and they let us control the music. It was really cute, and it was in the like hipster districty part of Phnom Penh, and these 2 guys behind the bar were so funny and really lovely. And yeah, I like this picture of me in a bar because I don't drink, so I like to have this picture of me being a young woman at a bar, because pictures like this don't really exist of me. And this is a picture of some random fruit, and the reason I'm including this is because this is why taking photos on film are so... this is part of what makes them so special to me. Like, this picture can never, ever, ever be recreated. It will never be April 2022. These fruits will never cost the same. Like, I will never be there. No one can ever recreate that. And that is just, you know, it's capturing a moment in time of, you know, it's capturing a moment in time, and it's capturing a moment in time that can never be recreated, and I think that's something that's so special. And I know you could say that about pictures taken digitally, but I don't know, something about film and it being a historical medium to me makes me feel like it's stuck in time, like, you know. I don't know if I'm conveying my thoughts very clearly, but it just feels like that's so special. I took that can never be recreated. Now we're going to move on to pictures I took in Siem Reap. So this is a picture of me. Again, this is the first time I ever went quad biking, and it was like scary but so fun. And I'm wearing krama, which is the traditional Cambodian scarf, and I'm wearing it like as a do-rag on top of my hair. And I just think it's a really beautiful photo, like the lighting in the background, the way I'm positioned in the rule of thirds type of vibe, and I'm smiling, like, I just love it, and I love that I get to have this picture of that memory. This photo is probably my favourite that I took on the entire trip. I don't know why, I just think that it looks so beautiful, and the way everything is placed looks so nice to me. We were in a tuk-tuk on the way to go and see the temples. There was so much traffic, it kept on raining and it was really drizzly, and there were just these two people sat under a tree, and I leaned out of the tuk-tuk and took this picture, and I just love it. This photo is of me outside of a temple in traditional Cambodian dress, and I just love like how yellow it is, how the colours look, how not humble, like I've just got a blank expression, like very small. This was such a nice experience for me. I'm not very much in touch with my heritage, so to get to wear a traditional garment of somebody else's culture is like amazing. It felt so amazing to, you know, go to this little shop and you choose what colour you want and you get wrapped up, you get adorned in gold. Like, it was just a very beautiful process that I was so happy to be involved in, and it just felt amazing to be able to do that. So just love this picture that captures that moment. Now this is when I used the Asian film stock from Mitsubishi, and I went to Kampot on a little solo trip for a few days. This is one of my favourite pictures. It's blurry a little bit, I don't really know what's going on. It's just of a motorbike on the side of the road, and I love this film was expired and the colours that it came out with were very green, and I just love this picture. Again, really green, really grainy, not the best technically, but this is a photo of a tuk-tuk driver. Like, I asked if I could take a picture of him and he was like, oh, like, let me take a picture of you. The one of me is really not given, but the one of him, and like, he was so excited to use this camera, which presumably he wouldn't have seen a film camera in years. That was really cool. So just having a picture of him, like a little holiday memory, and then this poorly lit, really poorly lit picture of some sheep, again looking really green, but this was a yoga barn, and then at the back they had some animals in a little farm. So now I want to talk about instant film as a format. It is one of my favorites, and if money was no object, I would literally carry an instant film camera with me 24/7 and hand out pictures to people. There's been many times where I've been like on a train or something, and I've had a conversation with someone and took a picture of them and given it to them, and I know that that person is like, oh, that's so cool. And seeing children's reactions and different people's reactions to film photos, always just like, I love sharing that with someone. The polaroids, my friend wrote in Khmer on the bottom, so I just love having that little thing. This first one is of me at the top of a roof in Phnom Penh, and it says, I love Vanda, who is a rapper, and it says plus kilo because that's what his popular song at the time meant. Another one of me at the top of Phnom Penh, which just looks so lit. This pool was so dirty you couldn't even swim in it, but it just looks like it's giving luxury, it's giving a rooftop, it's giving money. It's giving all of that as an illusion. But love that. And again, having a picture like this, the cityscape is always going to change, so it's like a moment in time, just like taken right there. And I'm not sure what this actually says at the bottom, but this is a street near my friend's house that we walked on a lot, and it's where, like, it's a very familial place for her, but for me it's where I was creating memories of Cambodia as this beautiful country. And I know that the lighting is really bad and you can't see much, but I just like the sentiment of this photo more than anything. Yeah, and then I've just got some random pictures of the Instax Mini, and these ones are the ones where I'm more inclined to give them to people because polaroid film costs more and you have to hide it from light for it to develop. So trying to explain that to someone quickly is hard. And you have to wait 15 minutes for it to develop, whereas with the Instax Mini, like, you can quickly take it, pull it out and hand it to someone and they can watch it develop in front of them, and it's just easier to hand away. So I hope that anyone in this world found me going on and on about my holiday pictures interesting. But yeah, it's just something that I wanted to share because I love film photography, and I'm definitely a point and shoot type of girl. I mean, I have an SLR and I don't really use it too much. I think growing up in that Tumblr era and just looking at my mum and dad's older pictures, like, I just feel this pull to film, especially in our modern era, with, you can pick up a digital camera, you can pick up your phone even and take so many photos without intention. Having something that says you have 24, you have 36 shots, make the most of it. And obviously you're putting so much money into doing that, it makes you so much more intentional with the photos that you're taking. And I just love the entire process. Like, it's very drawn out, you have to be patient throughout all of it to get the film developed and to scan the photos, to edit it and be like, oh, well, that isn't how I wanted it to be, but you can learn from it for next time. Like, it's just a very long analog process, and I'm a massive fan of the whole thing. So yeah, I hope anyone found that interesting, vaguely, and I will probably do this again for photos that I took in Colombia. So yeah, bye, thank you for watching.